What is going on, YouTube? Today I'm going to be doing a video review of the Shh Mute by Bremner. Um, I don't know when you'll be watching this and what time period, but right now, the world has been struggling to battle the coronavirus, so a lot of us are ordered to stay home right now. So I have been using my practice mute on my bass trombone and my tenor trombones a lot. I would say about 95% of the time playing with the practice mute, just out of respect for my neighbors. I might play without it every now and then, a few notes here and there, but I've been playing with practice mute a lot. So I wanted to do a review of this. I'll put a link down in the description to this particular practice mute. I have another practice mute I'd like to do a video review on some point as well. But just to be thorough, this is a bass trombone mute. They also do make them for tenor trombone, and I believe the tenor trombone fits a 547 bore and a 500 bore and a 508 bore. So your small bore, your large bore tenors, I think they're gonna fit in there just fine. So I'm gonna be rating this product out of 4 categories: back pressure, intonation, quietness, and price. These are the 4 things that, in my personal opinion, are the most crucial things when it comes to a practice mute. Now, I do want to reiterate that the practice mute is going to give you a different sensation, but in my opinion, it's better than nothing, especially when you need to practice and it might not be the most appropriate setting to be playing your horn at that specific time. So, the mute is, in my opinion, the best practice mute that I have ever owned, and I have owned 3 practice mutes. I've owned a Yamaha Silent Brass, I've owned the ProTech practice mute, and I've owned the mute. And out of all of these practice mutes, this mute is by far the best. I did buy this used, so the cork gave out, but I taped it. The newer ones have much better cork now. This is one of the older ones, I believe, from years ago. So the cork kind of gave out and it was used, but even then, put some tape on it, it's in the horn just fine, and it's great. So let me jump into it. Back pressure is a huge thing with practice mutes. Probably the top thing that you're going to be struggling with is the sensation, the back pressure of the mute. This back pressure is absolutely incredible. It is probably as close as you're going to get to playing without the mute. Reason being is not only do they have this hole drilled here, but the manufacturing with this, I think, was very geared towards the idea that as trombonists, you want to try to get to that sensation of blowing as freely as possible with the practice mute. So I'm going to rank all of these out of 10. So I'm going to give the back pressure an 8 out of 10. And that is the other way around. So it's not that the back pressure is an 8 out of 10, like the back pressure, like I give it an 8 out of 10 out of how it feels. Okay. Next one I'm going to talk about is intonation. Intonation is a big thing with practice mutes. I'll bet 100% of the time you're going to be sharp. And it's really hard to get around that because when you tune, you're blowing through all this tubing, and if you add a little bit of resistance, it's almost like you're stepping on the gas in a car and then like letting go halfway and thinking you're still going to be going 60 miles per hour when that is simply not the case. So intonation on this, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10, and that's actually me being very generous, and I am comparing this to 2 other practice mutes as well. My 6 out of 10 is actually going to be the highest I'm going to rank with intonation. As you can see, I need to pull my tuning slide out quite a bit, not all the way, about halfway, and then I've got my my F trigger pulled out quite a bit as well. But you know, you can sit there with a tuner and figure it out. Pros and cons with practice mutes, as always. Next, I'm going to do quietness, obviously the point of a practice mute is so that your decibel, you want to try to compress your decibel level as close as possible. I know there's a great video on YouTube of a trumpet player demonstrating decibel levels with this mute. You can look it up. If I find it, I'll put a link in the description. But for quietness, I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Absolutely incredible how much the volume changes with this. I'll do a quick demo real quick. So there's without it. Here's with it. So obviously, as you can hear, big difference. So I'm gonna give the quietness 10 out of 10. I've practiced at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I have neighbors and have not gotten one complaint. It's almost as if it sounds like someone's talking quietly. So it's pretty incredible how many decibel levels this mute brings you down. Next I'm going to talk about is price. The other two practice mutes that I've owned, the other one was very cheap, like $20, and the Yamaha practice mute, the really nice one, $100 or something like that, maybe even more. This is $60, so it's right in the middle, and I think for $60 you're really getting a good bang for your buck. This is a really good deal if you have the cash and you need a really good practice mute. Highly recommend you get your hands on a mute. So price, I'm going to give 8 out of 10. So like I said, back pressure, 8 out of 10. Intonation is 6 out of 10. Quietness, a 10 out of 10. Price, 8 out of 10. So we got 8, 6, 10, and 8. So I'm going to be giving the Schmute a total score of 32. Putting all of that together, I'm going to give this a 32 out of 40 for the Schmute. So I'm just going to play a little bit to demonstrate. Also with the bass trombone, another thing to mention, the range with this, it feels good throughout the whole range, as I'll demonstrate now. I also recommend if you ever put earplugs in, it's also going to sound really good on your part. I hope this helps. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. Again, I'll leave a link in the description to the Schmute by Bremner. Have a good one, guys.